where
know
this
we were
was.
having a fight here. I did
It's
not
not.
know that this was a fight conversation because
It's-
I'm not
sorry.
open to that.
It's not.
I'll
It's not,
shut it
Meri.
down right now if it's
It's
fight. I had a part in it. I had a part in it. I took the steps and we're done.
It's the audacity for me. It's the audacity. I don't get why TLC would spend all this time on Christine and David dating when we already know that they are married because we've already seen a special. And then Kody, that man gets on my last nerve. I'm here for Meri telling him we're exes. I'm here for Meri telling him she's not spending any time with him and his wife. She's got better things to do with herself. And I'm happy that she's at this point whereby she feels empowered and is happy to move on, irregardless of how bitter this little man is. I hope she takes him to the cleaners for spousal support and she gets what she deserves to have been given when she divorced him, and she can move on and be at peace. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, comment, and definitely share. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Sister Wives, season 19, episode 6. It's interesting that the opening for this is Robin complaining that Meri doesn't want to spend Christmas with them. And, you know, she doesn't know how to, you know, this is her first Christmas without Meri. And it's like, oh, this is not going to be the same. I feel like Robin is not moaning that all the wives are not there or the family's changed the dynamics. Robin is mourning the fact that the purse is gone. Because Meri and Janelle were the main breadwinners for this family. And so she got to spend and do whatever she wanted on their dime because the money was put into a family pot. And now that all those people have left and their wallets have left with them, that means she only has to rely on Kody and herself. And so the spending is going to be different. In my opinion, that's what she's crying about. I don't believe she's crying about Meri because during COVID, Meri stayed on her own and not once did Robin go and see her. When she went, it was, I assume, for the filming because Meri herself actually revealed that she was on her own during COVID. Nobody came to see her. And it's like, if she's on her own and she's not leaving the house or doing anything that puts her at risk, if you people really love her that much, why aren't you going to see her? So these tears that, oh, Meri, this is the first time I'm spending Christmas without Meri, I'm not buying them. Whoever's buying them, good luck to you. So Kody says, oh, I'm going to spend Christmas, you know, with the wife that I have and the children that I have here. And it's like, you have other children. If you were really intent on building your relationships with your children, this is the time to make the effort. You could have gone and stayed at a B&B and spent Christmas with either Christina and her children. You could have spent time with Maddie and her children. You could have done a lot more, but you chose to stay with Robin because that's where you feel that you get the attention that you need. Because otherwise, you would have made an effort to spend time with your other families that you haven't spent time with. Because last Christmas you were with Robin. That's just my opinion. Janelle spent Christmas with Maddie. She seemed very happy and very at peace. And she was talking about the fact that she's now having to look up recipes because Janelle is not really domesticated in the sense that she doesn't really like things like cooking and, you know, all those other tasks. And she used to rely on Christine a lot. And so now she's having to do it on her own because she's now on her own. Christine spent time with her too. Well, with her children. She spent time with Mackelty and her husband, Aspen and her husband. Isabel was there and Truly and the grandchildren. So that was cute to see. Meri went to spend time with her friends. I give credit to Meri for leaving, for finally saying, okay, you said you don't want me, I'm done, let's go. Because it was time, and I'm happy that she's finding her joy where she feels comfortable. And amazing that she had a great Christmas with her friends. TLC are not serious because they spent a good 15 minutes on Christine and her children talking about David. And we all know they had a special for David and Christina getting married. So it doesn't make sense. So you have all of Christina's children there. I think it's only one who was missing. I have forgotten who was missing, but I think one of them was missing because if I remember very well, she's got 6 children. Janelle has got 6, Meri's got 1, and then Robin's got 3 from Kody plus the 3 that she came with. So she's sort of sitting with her children wanting to get their opinion on David, and the older children seem to be on board with it. Well, Mackelty and Aspen are on board. You have Payden and Isabel. They are sort of not sure. Truly is a kid. She's happy. She gets along with David, so she's happy. I wish Tony could take a page from Mitch's book. Because Tony at times is very inappropriate. He doesn't know how to read the room. You had Mitch there, but he didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. He just sat there and just listened to everybody speak. And I wish Tony could take a page out of that book and try at least at times just to bite his tongue. We all don't need to know what he's thinking about every single second. And so they had this conversation where the children are sort of saying, you have Isabel saying, she's not yet on board because she thinks everything is moving too fast. She thinks, they need to pause for breath. And it does sound like it's moving fast because they already told each other they love each other in 1 week. And I think part of it is Christine's idea of love. I think she's a hopeless romantic. She has that sort of romance novel type of idea of what love should be. She's never dated before. Prior to Kody, apparently she was friends with Kody and thought it was a good idea. Then she just married him. She didn't even date him, unlike the way he behaved with Robin. So this is her first time dating. So you can understand her children's reservations in regards, is this a good idea for her? Is she truly aware of what she's doing, or she's just jumping in with her eyes closed and hoping for the best? And then Payton sort of said to her, us saying we have reservations doesn't mean that we're saying you shouldn't get married. No, our reservations should not stop you from doing whatever you want to do. It's just we are going to get there, but it's going to take us a moment to get there. And she sort of tells them that, nothing you say or do will change my opinion of David. I'm sold on David, so I'm all in. So even if you guys were not sold, I am sold on him, and I see a future with him. Tony sort of saying that he reminds David reminds him of Kody doesn't make sense because apparently they were born in the same generation, and it's like being born in the same generation doesn't mean that they're the same person. I don't know David. The bits of David that I've seen, he comes across more compassionate, empathetic, understanding, and accommodating as compared to Kody. Kody's been so used to his wife running around him and doing everything for him that the idea of him having to sacrifice, or the idea of him having to put himself second, has never played a part in his life. All the other wives, are sort of saying, the ex-wives, you have Meri and Janelle, sort of saying, they are of a different generation. So the idea of dating online is something new to them. Meri says, if this makes Christine happy, amazing. Janelle says, she'll have to meet someone organically. She's not going to put herself out on dating apps to sort of look for someone. That's not her jam. That's not how she rolls. Truly said she gets on with David, so she's on board with that. I would understand that. I think, in my opinion, of all of Christina's children, the one person whose opinion truly matters is Truly, because Truly is still at home with her mum. So her opinion of David would have played a big part in regards whether Christine can go ahead with this relationship or not, because her two oldest daughters are already married, so their opinion doesn't count. Payton doesn't live at home. Isabel doesn't live at home. And there's another daughter, I've forgotten her name. She doesn't live at home. I think she moved out a long time ago. Oh, Gwendolyn. She moved out a long time ago. So only Truly's opinion, in my opinion, matters. Everybody else is surprised that they said I love you within 1 week and 1 day, but they are on board with it. And so if this makes Christine happy, she seems happy with David. He seems to really know how to sort of love her and sort of give her the love that she needs. And she seems very at peace. I think she's less upset with Kody, and she says less than she did prior to David, because at the start she was very angry and she always had a lot of vim for Kody. But now I think with David accommodating her and sort of loving her the way she deserves to be loved, she's moved on with life and she's happy and at peace. So you have Janelle sit down for a chat with Madison and her husband. Oh my God. And so they are having this conversation about their plans on what they want to do, where they want to settle, what are they going to do about land. Because it seems they've decided that if they're buying land, they're going to buy joint property. And so Janelle wants to do more or less the same things that Maddie and her husband want to do. And so they had seen some land, I think, in a previous episode, but they hadn't made a decision. And Janelle's problem is, as I said before, Janelle, Meri, and Christina and everybody apparently used to pool money. So they used to get their monies and put it in one account, which they call the family pot. And then depending on what was needed, the money would be withdrawn and be shared to everybody else. And sadly, with them leaving, Christina was smart enough to use her money to buy her home. And so when she left, she just sold her home and packed her bags and left and told them to buy her out of Coyote Pass. Whereas with Meri and Janelle, their problem is their money was used to buy Robin's house. Their money is tied up in Coyote Pass. And Kody is busy saying that he doesn't have money to pay off Coyote Pass. And it's like, because he's comfortable, he's sitting in his big McMansion with his lovely, lovely wife. Why would he worry about everybody else? Why would he worry about them? And in my opinion, what I feel is they need to buy him out. They need to tell him that your money that was supposed to be on Coyote Pass is what is in Robin's house. So we now divide the house between the two of us, Meri and Janelle, and they do what they want, because he can't sit on McMansion and then come to Coyote Pass and want a quarter of the land. That doesn't make sense unless Meri and Janelle are also getting a quarter of his McMansion. That's my opinion, because they contributed towards that house. They contributed towards Coyote Pass. If everything is going to be divided, the house needs to be divided by 4. The land needs to be divided by 4, and everybody can pack up and go. That's my opinion. They need to sell the land. They need to sell Robin's house and then divide the assets, and everybody gets on their merry ways. Because at the end of the day, Meri and Janelle paid more into those properties than what Robin did. Because when they moved to Flagstaff, she didn't have money. She struggled because her finances were all over the place. And I think she was the last one to actually be approved for a loan. So why should these women that spent years and years and years working for this family do without when you're sitting in a McMansion and, being happy-go-lucky? I don't get it. So we get to meet David. He comes to take Christine on a date, and they really are cute. It's really they're very, very sweet, and it seems like a very totally different from Kody. He's a 180 from Kody. And so I get why Christine is head over heels in love with him. I get why she's so smitten. The fact that he's affectionate, he's not afraid to give her PDA. I was a bit concerned about, the love of my life, because, his wife passed away, and I don't know how his children will feel about him saying that to somebody else, because they might think, so does that mean, you didn't love our mom, or are you saying that after our mom, this is the next love of your life? Make it make sense. Christine is giddy. She's like a high school girl. She's like puppy love. She's got heart eyes, and you can see it. And I'm happy for her, because if this is what makes her happy, then amazing. Because at the end of the day, we all want to be loved. And if you can find your person that loves you the way you deserve to be loved, then I'm all for it. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know that I have always supported Meri, irregardless of how the other wife says she's behaved. Because from what I've seen, yes, she has her faults, but I've also liked the fact that she's always been about the family and has never once slandered the family. Up until now, when Kody has really pissed her off, this is where she's going off. So Kody comes over to her house to have a conversation with her. And so he is saying, it's just to discuss things and to, accountability and stuff. I feel like this meeting was because Kody was pissed that the church leaders phoned him and told him he abandoned Meri. And so I think he wanted this recorded for Meri to take responsibility of him not being a good husband to her. I think he was trying to sort of wash the stain away from him, and I think he thought he could trap Meri into admitting and taking responsibility, or taking all the blame for why their marriage didn't succeed. Because Meri has gone along with him for a very long time, and she's put up with a lot of stuff that normal people or ordinarily people wouldn't go through, because she's always been about the family and she's always supported the man that she loved. So for him to have the audacity to say to her, I didn't abandon you. I'm not responsible for you for not loving you. You are responsible for me not loving you. As in, seriously, are you an idiot? Are you an idiot? Because what was she supposed to do to make you love her? She can't make you love her. She can't. You've got a new shiny object that does and sort of everything you need, and that is willing to sort of booster your ego every time you feel low. And so for you, Meri is right to say, if you married the wrong person, why wait 32 years to tell her that she's the wrong person? Why didn't you tell her earlier and she would have kept it moving? And she's right to also say that, if I wanted to leave, I would have left. I said this a couple of reviews, a season or so ago, when I said that Meri, in my opinion, was the first person who wanted to leave Kody. when she was catfished. Christina only took the bait to leave after Meri did this. And Meri, when she was catfished, I think was really considering leaving the family. And this is why she accepted divorcing Kody, because she felt like she was abandoned and there was nothing for her to stay for in this family, because nothing was going her way. She didn't get along with her sister wives. The husband wasn't coming over to see her. Her child had grown and had left the nest. And so I feel like the family sort of blackmailed, for lack of a better word, Meri into staying into this family. Because I remember countless times when all the sister wives used to say to her, so are you leaving us? Are you leaving us? Are you leaving us? And she constantly kept telling them, no, I'm not leaving. No, I'm not leaving. And after she was catfished and the backlash that she faced from Kody, Leon, and the rest of the family, she decided to stay put. And I think she must have told herself that the next time I leave here is because I've been told to leave or I am unalived. Those are one of the two things that were going to let her leave this family, because of the backlash she faced from her trying to leave Kody when she was catfished. And so his ego never was able to get over the fact that she wanted to leave him. And so now Christina leaving him, he had already got over that. And because Christina didn't sort of hang around to sort of rub his ego or boost his ego, he was okay with that, because he was able to justify it as, oh, I never loved her, so she brought herself into the family, this, that, and the other. Whereas with Meri has always been loyal. Meri has always been about the family. Even Janelle said it, that Meri is very loyal to a fault. So Meri, after the catfishing, she decided to stay in the family. When Kody abandoned her and didn't come and see her, she still stayed in the family. She still contributed to the family, because I think she always felt that one day he'll wake up and say, okay, I'm coming home. And so him not coming home and actually telling her that I'm never coming home is why she decided to pack her bags and leave. And so for him to say, okay, are we moving forward? Where are we moving forward to? You told me you didn't want me. You told me you could fake it. I don't want a fake husband. I want someone who's going to love and adore me. Even Janelle herself says that Kody and Meri were so goofy and so happy. And so everyone is surprised that suddenly Kody is saying he didn't love his wife, when they all saw how much he adored his wife, or also how much PDA he had with Meri, especially when the other wives were not there. So for him to sit there and try and get her to admit that she is at fault because he doesn't love her, she is at fault that he didn't come to her home. No, she's not. No, she's not, buddy. You found a shiny object. You used Meri. Oh, I didn't want her to sort of there to be backlash if I told her I didn't love her. He didn't tell her he didn't love her because he was afraid that she would take him to the courts and take him to the cleaners, because she was legally married to him. So he tricked her out of her marriage to say he wanted to adopt Robin's children, even though their dad was still alive, so that Robin could become the legal wife. And once Robin became the legal wife, that's when the cracks started showing. Because as long as Meri was the legal wife, she was able to protect everyone and she was able to keep the family together, irregardless of the fact that nobody liked her. She always made sure everything was shared equally. So now he's in this place whereby he's got his adoring, legal wife. He's got this McMansion, and now everyone else is packing up and leaving, and he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't want to take responsibility for abandoning those wives. He also wants the finances that these women brought into the family. Because why else is he saying to Meri, so we're moving on? Moving on to where? Moving on to where, buddy? So Christine and David are on their date and they're sort of talking about their relationship and how they feel about one another. I love this for Christine because it shows that there is life after divorce. So she is happy with David. He loves her. He adores her, it seems. I'm just a bit concerned about the fact that they keep bringing up the word soulmate, in the sense that he has previous partners. Yes, Christine, we know, Kody wasn't her soulmate. We know it was an arranged marriage, more or less. So for her to talk about soulmates and stuff, her children will be happy. But I don't know how David's children will feel, given the fact that he wasn't in a polygamous marriage. And we don't know how he and his wife got to be together to form a union. So I hope they're mindful of that. I know they're crazy in love. I know they're smitten. But I wish they would just take a pause about that and just be cautious of what they say in case the children... I know Christine said the children accept her. They have taken her on a date to get to know her better. They are very happy and stuff. But I wish she would be more mindful of what she says, as giddy as she is about this man. I wish she would be more mindful. But anyway, That's it. So you now have Kody sort of having a conversation. Kody is trying to be sweet to Meri. He's trying to say whatever malicious things he can, but he's also trying to keep her sweet because he knows with the release from the church, I feel like Meri wanted the release as proof that she had been married to this man. Because yes, she divorced him, but stayed in a relationship with him. But she wanted it, in my opinion, so that she could take him to the cleaners. And I hope she takes him to the cleaners for what she's owed, because she put a lot into this family and she deserves it. For him to say, so how do we move on from here? What do we do? I've got a wife that wants you to spend time with him. And it's like, no. What are we when we move on? Meri said we're exes. Meri is at peace. Meri is at peace, and I love that she says she's at peace. It's only Kody who's in this turmoil on his own. She has moved on, and I love that for her, because you can't move someone from a relationship unless they're good and ready to leave that relationship. And I'm happy that Meri is finally at peace, and she's happy to leave this relationship, and she can leave with her head held up high because she's done everything within her power to try and save this marriage. But sadly, it hasn't worked, so it's okay. She can move on. She can find peace. She can find her person. And I love this for her. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 5. Bye guys.